To another mash. This mash is dedicated to our lower body. So this is an at-home mobility video where we are going specifically through some mash. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna use a roller today as well as a ball, focusing a few key areas. So again, I'm aware that a lot of us are having to sit down for long periods of time, so this is directed towards improving the mobility and sort of recovery of these areas. So in this video, we're going to touch on mobilizing and recovering the calves, the hamstrings, the quads, and the glutes. Okay, let's get stuck in. So our first mash or rolling session is going to be on our calves. So I'm going to turn on the side so you guys can see what I'm doing. In this position, I'm going to get you guys to put the roller right underneath the calves, and what we're going to do, we're going to roll the calves. So roll from left to right, like we've done in a few other videos, 10 times, and then up and down 10 times as well. It's been on my mind the past couple of weeks that a lot of us are training like professional athletes, be that we commit to exercising every single day and you're going with a plan and you attack your sessions with intensity, moving that roller up a little bit. However, we recover like rookies in the sense where we often neglect it, we're inconsistent, sometimes we're great for a week or 2 weeks and then we neglect it for another 2 months, and sometimes we go in just without having any real plan. So that's what I mean when I say that often we train like professionals but recover like rookies. So I'm hoping that you guys are going to incorporate just a little bit more of this sort of stuff into your weekly sessions and rolling that up. If you find a spot on your calf that is particularly sore, by all means hold there for a couple of seconds and just really try to work it out. Another great technique you guys can do is bring the feet up and drop. So both feet come up and drop. As for now, we are on our third part of the calf, rolling aggressively from left to right and then up and down 10 times. I'm not sure if you guys can see there, but I've got my feet crossed over. What that does is it gets a little bit more of the weight from the legs transferring into the calf muscles. And on to our last one, let's get that now all the way up the calf. And what we're going to do, just like we've done on the previous 3 rolls, going to go left to right, nice and aggressively. You guys, I'm just going to try to show you another angle again so you can really see what I'm doing. So got that roller up on the calf and I'm moving from right to left and up and down, and this is pretty uncomfortable. So for me, I've got a spot that I found just there on the calf that's quite sore. As I've encouraged you guys to do, if you have found that tight spot, hold there for a minute. The pain's probably not going to entirely go away, but if you can maybe take it from a 7 or 8 down to a 3, that's awesome. Awesome work, guys. Last bit, 10 rolls up and down. This is on the left calf. 10 rolls. Fantastic, and topping sides. So I'm now going right onto my Achilles tendon on my right side and super aggressively shifting my weight from the right to the left 10 times and really trying to get stuck in, relieving that calf, recovering that calf. I've mentioned this in a few videos before, so just a quick reminder before I tell you that. Left to right 10 times and up and down 10 times. Now what I was going to say was, a few videos ago I mentioned that you're probably finding week to week as we mobilize our calves, roll them, mash them, stretch them, whatever it is, that your calves are always tight and always sore. Pretty common if this is the case. The reason being, these are actually high endurance muscle fibers. So if you guys are driving, standing, walking, running, exercising, whatever, your calves generally are taking the beating for almost every single movement. They're always keeping you upright and they're pretty much always turned on. And so from that perspective, you'll notice if your calves are always working, they're always going to need recovery. So I don't want you guys to be discouraged if you're thinking, well, I rolled out my calves 3 days ago and they're really sore again today, so I'm not getting any benefits. I really encourage you guys to keep in mind that because they're are such hard-working muscles, they do need a lot of recovery all the time, consistently. All right, rolling up, we're onto our third roll on the calf, and for me, I'm halfway up, and this is where it starts to get really uncomfortable. Left to right, 10 times with this roller. And for me, I found a spot that's really uncomfortable, so my toe is actually twitching in this position, so I'm going to hold it there, and I encourage you guys to do the same. If you found a tricky spot, hold there just for another few seconds. You wouldn't believe it if you saw how much my leg was shaking right now. Alright, on that spot, gently roll up and down 10 times. Excellent. Rolling up one more time, so I'm all the way up on my calf and I'm rolling aggressively left to right 10 times, distributing as much weight as I can through it. And I'm going to hold there for a moment because I found a super tricky spot that's screaming at me. So let's hold there. This is just as much to recover me as it is to recover you guys. I hope that's okay. So holding that spot for me. I'm sure you can find a spot on your calf that's really tricky. Holding there, breathing through it for another 10 seconds. All right, and rolling out of it 10 times. Awesome. Leaving that there. Now, if anybody has really sore calves that are quite tight, I encourage you guys to pause this video and keep on rolling. So spend a bit more time working those calves. Just then, we spent 3 minutes on each calf. So I encourage you guys to take as much time as you really need. If you're gonna take that for 5-6 minutes each calf, by all means, go ahead. Pause this video and keep on going, and then come back in when you guys are ready. We're gonna work our way up. So we're gonna get into the calf muscle in particular. Into the quad muscle in particular. We're gonna hit the VMO, so the inside portion of your quad. This tends to get quite sore, and very rarely do we really mobilize as much as we need to. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to try to get a sort of clear video for you guys here. I'm getting my VMO right on that roller, and what I'm going to try to do, I'm just going to try to find a spot that's pretty sensitive and hold it right there. We're going to hold that for 60 seconds. If you'd like, you can gently move the leg up and down. Try and intensify that roll. For me, particularly as I contract, I can really feel that I am getting deep into that muscle. Awesome work, team. Deep breaths. Once you've contracted a few times, just soften it and just stay relaxed into it. You can hold it for another 20 seconds. I've had people asking me recently how much you should be rolling and how much you should be stretching or recovering. This is the sort of thing you can do every single day if time permits. I have never really heard of anybody over rolling. I'm sure that potentially could be a thing. I'm not a physiotherapist. But for me and my trainer, know that the more I roll, the more I mobilize, the better I feel and the better my sessions go. So get in as much rolling and recovery as you can. All right. Still on the right side, we are going to take that roller and then move onto the sort of middle portion of the quad. And I'll turn on the side so you guys can see. I have this rolling right up and down on the middle portion of my quad. So line that up. This isn't as sensitive for me, so we're just going to go through 15 rolls right here. Just rolling from the hips as low down as you can get. All right, and on that right side again, we're going to hit the ITBs. The worst roll of all time, but it is so good for you. Getting that roller right up and down the side of the leg. So I'm going to get all my weight coming through that roller, legs on a nice, leg nice and tight like you guys can see, and it's rolling. We're gonna go for 10, so 15, 3, 5, 10, 15. Whew. That is a hard time. Excellent. That is our right side done. Shifting across to the left side, so getting that VMO again right there. Oh, and I found that sweet spot straight away. Once you guys have found it, I encourage you to extend the leg a couple times. So contract that quad, move backwards and forwards on the roller, and just try to breathe into the spot that's quite sensitive. We're gonna hold this for 60 seconds. Hope you guys aren't swearing too much at me at home for the ITB roll. I know it's so unpleasant. Also, team, if you're watching this video, I appreciate you guys getting stuck in and following the mobility. It's something that I really believe in to improve your training. It's something that I think long-term is just gonna be fantastic for injury prevention and to improve the quality of your movement. So thank you for watching these videos. And as I've mentioned before, if you have anything you guys like to see, please send me a message, be it on Facebook or Instagram, or comment on this video. Whatever it is, I'd love to get some feedback so I can make these videos even better for you guys. Last 10 seconds. I'm just working through that range of motion right now. Excellent. Now, just like we did on the right side, we're now going to roll up the middle portion of the quad, 10 to 15 rolls. Not as awful as the ITB. So taking time with it, rolling up and down. Bit of an awkward thing to do, but it's good for you. Awesome, my team. Leaving it there. Together, we're gonna do our last ITB. So jumping on that left side ITB. I know it's super unpleasant, but rest assured it is fantastic for you. So I'm gonna turn aside, try and mask my pain face. So roller comes in the middle of the hip, legs out nice and straight. And what we're gonna do, I'm on a bad angle here. I can make this better. You guys can sort of see what I'm doing. Legs out, nice and straight. I'm hoping you guys can see the line of my body like this. We're gonna go for 15 rolls. That's 5. 10. 13. 14. 15. Well done. All right, team. That has been good. We're gonna get stuck in with our last piece of recovery. So this is going to be with our ball. So it's as simple as getting the ball onto the glute and moving through the range of motion, finding a spot that's sensitive, and we're just gonna hold that for 60 seconds. For me in particular, I've just found a spot right then on my glute that is twitching, so my arm is holding me in place, and I'm using my back arm just to nudge forwards, shift my weight around a little bit. So as I'm doing, try to use your arm to sort of shift you backwards and forward. That spot for me is Really, really aggressive. So I'm gonna hold it for another 30 seconds. Just like I did with the calves, if this particular portion of your body requires a little bit more maintenance, feel free to pause this video, spend as much time mobilizing your glutes as necessary, and then join us when you're ready. I'm gonna hold this for another 30 seconds. Doing well, guys. Flipping sides, and this is our final piece. So moving onto that left side, again, it's as simple as just rolling the ball onto a portion of your glute that's quite sensitive, and that for me is right there, and holding that just for 60 seconds. Use your arms to shift your weight backwards and forwards. Deep breath in, really relax into it. Final portion of this video. I squatted yesterday, and I'm absolutely feeling it in all these places today. So I'm hoping that some of you are in that similar position where you're like, oh gosh, this came at a good time or a bad time. Rolling on DOMs is never nice, but it is necessary. Right, team, we're gonna final 20 seconds. Put as much weight into that glute as you can handle. Deep breaths, 10 seconds. Fantastic. Leave that right there. Awesome, team, thank you for joining.